Kennel cough, it's something highly contagious. You could be anywhere and your dog could get it. I wish this was something that I would have been shown a lot sooner as to how to prevent it. I'm gonna show you guys how to give it intranasal. It's not the same as a vaccine that you give as a shot. Doing this before you bring your dogs to dog shows, even to the vet, bringing your dog out and about to parks, things like that, can save you a lot of time, a lot of money, and a lot of headache when it comes to kennel cough. Stay tuned. You're not going to want to miss this episode. What's going on, Bully fam? It's your boy, the educator, the scientist, Mr. Double Muscle Line Bulls, bringing you another episode of Breeders Hacks. Today, what we're going to be talking about is kennel cough, right? So I've done episodes on how to treat it, but I haven't talked about the preventative that you can use in order to prevent your dogs from even getting it in the first place, which is a lot better in my opinion. You know, what is that saying? 1 ounce of prevention saves you a pound in no
coins.
Like, I don't know. Anyway, besides the point, what I'm just getting at is if you prevent kennel cough, it'll save you a lot of time, it'll save you a lot of money, save you a lot of headache. You know, who wants to be dealing with that? It's super contagious, so if you have a bunch of dogs like we do, when one gets it, they're all going to get it, and it's going to be a nightmare. Mucus, cough, all that stuff. So you want to prevent it. And this is something that we would do quite often when we were going to dog shows. So kennel cough is highly contagious and you can get it. I'll tell you where I've gotten it. I've gotten it at dog shows. Not me, but the dogs have gotten it at dog shows, at the vet's office. Surprisingly, I went to the vet. I had a story that wound up happening. We went to the vet and we brought the dog back. She got kennel cough. It's like I said, it's super contagious, and even with the vet being on top of their sanitization and things like that, she still caught it. And then dog parks, bringing the dog out to dog parks and things like that, people who don't vaccinate their dogs and so on and so forth. So it's super contagious, it's super easy for the dog to get it, and it's super easy to prevent it, right? I'm gonna show you guys real quick what you need to do, how to do it, how to treat it, and it's very affordable and cheap and easy, and you can do it at home. So let's get started. So, all right, so the first thing that you're gonna need to do is you can buy the vaccine at your local feed store, things like that. You can buy them in single doses or in the big container. I find it more cost effective getting it in the big container, and it could range anywhere between $5 maybe per, all the way up until like $15 per dog. It all depends, but still way cheaper than going to the vet for this. So this is it right here. This is what you want. I'm gonna take this out real quick. Always keep it refrigerated. I can't stress that enough. Always keep it refrigerated. So it is a live vaccine. So essentially what you're doing is, and it's not, here's the thing, right? It's not the same as doing a vaccine, like an injection under the skin. A lot of people aren't aware about intranasal vaccines. There's not a lot of out that, at least that I'm aware of, that breeders us particularly use, but this is one of them. They do sell it in a subcutaneous vaccine where it's under the skin and stuff like that, but you'll find these more available, like I said, for intranasal use in dogs only. So it comes, we get the big pack like this because we have a lot of dogs. And I mean, I don't do the vaccine as much anymore just because we don't really take our dogs to shows like that. Don't even really take them much to parks. I mean, they're usually here. People come visit the dogs here. That's why, you know, we bought our house and things like that so that they have a nice sized yard. We don't really take the dogs out like that. But even when dealing with the vet, so on and so forth, it's good to have these on hand to be able to try to prevent any kennel cough from getting into your home. We have instructions here. Not gonna need those.
I don't need your instructions.
But on a more serious note, I would highly recommend to do this vaccine, and it's usually good, I believe, for like a year when you administer it to the dog. Another thing as well too is these vaccines, they're usually good. When do these expire? Yeah, they expire in about a year. So these will usually last pretty long. And like I said, once you give the vaccine, the dog is usually good for a year as well. So what you're going to need is about 3 things, 2 things more ideally, but you'll need your vaccine, and then you're gonna also need your syringe with your needle tip, right? You're gonna need a needle tip, and I'm gonna explain why, and a syringe. And usually the vaccine comes with these little nose things that's gonna go onto the syringe. You'll see what I'm talking about in a minute. So we're gonna take one of these out, and then the vaccine, just like any other vaccine, comes in 2 parts. The powdered, like freeze-dried version, and then you're gonna have your sterile diluent. I think this is like a saline or something like that, but it doesn't really matter. This, when we add it to this vaccine, it's gonna reconstitute it, it's gonna bring it alive, it's gonna make it active, and you know, be able to allow us to put inside the dog. But since we are only using one, I'm gonna close this up, and we're gonna put this right back in the fridge. So the vaccine that you're typically looking for when you go to your feed store is you're looking for canine parainfluenza, bordetella. This one, I believe it also has bronchiopecta, I believe it's called, but usually it's bordetella and parainfluenza. Those are the 2 that you're looking for. And that's usually associated with the kennel cough. This one, it says KC on it, Solo Jet KC, which I guess is supposed to be short for like kennel cough. But they sell different brands, different versions. This is just the one that we use. So I'll show you real quick, right? So now that we've got it out the fridge, we kind of do need to start moving relatively quickly. So, because this needs to stay cold. So we're gonna go ahead and take our syringe out, right? And we're going to take our needle tip. One other thing that you could have on the side as well, other than the syringe, the needle tip, your vaccine, and our nasal applicator, is you're gonna also wanna have maybe your health records. And I wanna show you how we apply this afterwards. But you know, we're gonna put this in our health records just for us to have as well, and for the vet to be able to see. So now that we have our syringe put on, right, we took our tip. I'll show you guys real quick, tightened it on, because this is a lure lock. It tightens right on. Take the top off. And now what we're gonna do is first, we're gonna quickly take out our diluent, right? So I'm gonna hold it upside down, and I'm gonna take my needle, I'm gonna go ahead like this, and go ahead and draw out all the fluid inside this vial. You want the entire thing. There we go, that's that. This is empty, right? We'll put this to the side with our health records. And then we're gonna go ahead now, and I'm gonna get some of this air out. There we go. And now I'm gonna go ahead and now take the vial that has our freeze-dried vaccine, and by adding this diluent to it, right, I'm gonna go ahead and put it in like this. It's going to activate it. So it's gonna slowly, it's gonna actually wanna quickly bring in the diluent. I hold it off to the side, and the reason being is because I don't wanna like damage the vaccine. I'm not trying to get it all foamy and whatnot. So it's gonna automatically, because this is suctioned out, it's gonna automatically pull the fluid out, right? I'm gonna put my cap on real quick, and then all you're gonna wanna do now is rotate, move from side to side, and you're gonna wanna basically get the powder completely in the diluent. There may be some clumps in there. Let's see if I can see. There may be some clumps in there. I don't know if they can see, but if you do have clumps, then just move it yet again, side to side. I've seen some people shake it, but I'm too worried about damaging the vaccine because now it's live and now it's active. And all the vaccine really is just a weakened version of the actual virus. Because it is a weakened version of the virus, all that's gonna happen is we're gonna go ahead and give this to the dog. The dog's immune system can easily attack this, easily fight it, easily beat it, and it'll have immunity against this particular virus when it comes in contact with it, whether it's at a dog show, whether it's at a vet, wherever the case may be. So anyway, as you can see, it's basically completely dissolved into our solution, right? So now what we're gonna go ahead and do is we're gonna take our syringe again and now draw out the entire vaccine. And that's it, right? Vial is empty. We will put that to the side with our puppy health records. We're gonna pull the plunger back, leave a little bit of air, take the needle tip off, put that aside in a safe place. We're not gonna use that right now, because then what we're gonna do is, remember, this is for intranasal use. So we're gonna go ahead and take our nasal applicator that came with the vaccines and twist that onto the tip of the syringe. It's nice and tight on there now, right? Nice and tight. And now we're ready to go ahead and we'll push it to the top so there's not so much air in it. and we're ready to give it to the dog. So we got Mercy here. She's always the best when it comes to doing stuff like this, so that's why she's our example dog. So we got our vaccine right here, right? And like I said, it's intranasal, so it's gonna go into the nose. It doesn't have to be, it's not intertracheal where it needs to go all the way shot back into the back of the nose. Nothing like that. It just really needs to be in the nasal cavity. That's really about it. Don't go super crazy over it because they're gonna wind up inhaling some of this and that's how they get it. You don't have to worry. So don't go super crazy trying to jam it all the way into the dog's nose, making her uncomfortable. This is supposed to be actually a very relaxed vaccine for them in comparison to the other stuff that's out there that they could get, you know, such as sub-Q and intermuscular injections. This is supposed to be a lot more relaxed for them. So real quick, we have our dog. We have our vaccine, and all you're gonna do is keep them nice and calm and relaxed. And like I said, I usually put it right here to the side of the nose in the nostril cavity. I'm gonna do it really quick so you guys can see, and you only really need to do one nostril. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab it here like this, push them through, there you go. Look at that, went right in. Good girl, mama. We'll do the other half real quick, boom, done. Look at that, done, done. Completely done. She inhaled it, you know, she may lick her nose a little bit, whatever, that's okay. Good girl, mama. We gotta get her a treat. I think I got a treat over there. But anyway, good girl, mama. That's pretty much it, guys. So we're gonna go ahead, give her treat. She was awesome. And now she's vaccinated for the next year for Bordetella, parainfluenza, kennel cough. So, all right, guys. So once she's done, let's get her treat. And I'm gonna show you guys what you guys are gonna do after this if you have your puppy health records. So once we've given our vaccine, like I said, the dog is now vaccinated for it. I highly recommend doing that, especially if you're bringing your dogs to shows, because you don't know who is more than likely not vaccinating their dogs. It's just good practice. You should do it. In my opinion, say you have 2 shows coming up for your dog, one in the beginning of the year, one at the end of the year. I would vaccinate both times for both shows, depending on it. But regardless, make sure your dog's vaccinated if you're going to shows. You'll be thankful later, especially if, like I said, I've had dogs get it. Then we have, you know, newborn litter of puppies, and we're trying to keep everything sanitary in a way and not lose puppies from other dogs having kennel cough and mucus and hacking, and the list goes on, it gets crazy. The 2 vials, what we're gonna go ahead and do is they come with a tearaway tab, right? So this peel right here, right? You peel this off here and it removes the entire label from the vaccine. Before I knew about this, I always just threw them out afterwards. You're gonna take this label, right? And this label here says what the vaccine was that the dog got. It shows the expiration date, all that stuff. We're going to stick it right onto the puppy health record, right here like this, right? So now when the vet gets the health record, they can see when the dog was vaccinated. So what I'll do is I'll also take the diluent as well here, and I'll just put it right side by side with the other vaccine, with the vaccine that we just did, I'm sorry, and put it right next to it like that, and there you go. And I'm just gonna write over here as well that it was given intranasally, and there's your vaccine, there's your health record. So we actually have a copy, a duplicate of the puppy health records that you guys can get for free on breedershacks.com. Just go to the information center and look up puppy health records. But essentially, what's really cool about this, what I love about it, is like, I mean, we literally give you, not just the breeder, but the pet home, the pet owner, and this is just an example. We give this to the pet owner once the dog goes home with them, and it shows. So usually it goes to the pet owner around 8 weeks. So it shows them what they need to do from 8 weeks all the way to 5 to 6 months. So it's like a guide for them to make sure what they need to do next going forward. It's a great guide for even you as a breeder, maybe starting out, you're not sure when you need to be, you know, deworming, when you need to be giving vaccinations, things like that. Kind of breaks it down for you here. So has some other cool stuff as well, you know, when the age, their weights, so on and so forth. So having puppy health records are really cool, especially when you can get them for free, printing them out online for yourself. Hope this information was helpful as always. We hope this information was useful. Feel free to check us out more at breedershacks.com, and I'll see you guys on the next episode. All right, guys.